Over the past 50 years, there has been a significant increase in the global population. In 1960, there were almost 3 billion people on the planet. In less than 3 decades, it had risen above 5 billion by 1987, and as of 2018, there were about 7.6 billion people on the planet. Regional differences in this growth are significant. Sub-Saharan Africa has experienced the highest relative growth since 1960. There, the population has increased from 227 million in 1960 to over 1 billion in 2018, a nearly 5-fold rise. The Middle East and North Africa experienced the second largest growth throughout the period, with a population that expanded by more than 4 times from 105 million to 449 million. By 2050, there will likely be close to 10 billion people on the planet due to continued population growth in other areas. So now we are going to increase the world's population in 10 times. Are you ready? If the world's population were to increase tenfold, it would lead to significant challenges and changes across various aspects of life. What happens if population growth is tenfold and food demand explodes? Will deforestation and overfarming become the new standard, causing environmental damage and food shortages? Will areas currently experiencing water stress hit a breaking point, bringing us into an unprecedented water crisis as more people require water for agriculture, sanitation, and drinking? Can we meet the growing energy demands of a substantially larger population without exacerbating air pollution and climate change? Or will we be closer to irreversible environmental devastation as a result of our reliance on fossil fuels? As urban areas grow quickly to feed the growing population, what will become of our precious agricultural lands and natural habitats? Will we compromise our environment in order to provide more space for people? Will access to high-quality healthcare become a luxury when hospitals and healthcare providers are under tremendous pressure to serve a growing number of people? Are we moving toward a day when access to healthcare will only be available to a select few? What will happen to us if water, power, and sanitation become erratic commodities in a society where infrastructure is at capacity and services are on the brink of collapse? Will poor waste management put us on the path to health issues and pollution? If there is so much pollution when the population does not increase tenfold, what will happen to the environment if the population increases tenfold? Pollutant emissions, especially greenhouse gas emissions, would increase with population density, worsening air quality problems, and climate change. More land would be removed for agriculture and development, which would result in the loss of wildlife habitat and a fall in biodiversity. Overuse of resources like minerals, fresh water, and forests would hasten their decline and worsen the ecosystem. What happens when areas that are already experiencing poverty and resource shortage meet with fast population growth? Will the fight for survival leave millions of people behind as poverty and income inequality spiral out of control? How will economies handle more competition for jobs as a result of a growing labor force clamoring for positions? Are we heading toward a time when many people will find it difficult to make ends meet due to skyrocketing unemployment and stagnating wages? Can our public systems handle the strain when demand for basic services like healthcare, education, and social assistance soars? Will underfunded and overburdened services fail to provide vulnerable people with the much-needed support? In order to accommodate the expanding population, cities would grow quickly, resulting in wider urban areas and more traffic. When demand exceeds supply, housing affordability will deteriorate and result in overcrowding, homelessness, and informal settlements. The need for food will grow as the population grows, requiring more food to be produced. This would probably result in the adoption of intensive farming methods, which might have an adverse effect on the environment. Furthermore, it would be harder to guarantee fair access to food, especially in areas with poor distribution and infrastructural systems. Growing numbers of people living in crowded areas with inadequate sanitation facilities could increase the risk of disease outbreaks and turn them into public health emergencies. In addition, rising urbanization and population density may exacerbate mental health issues like elevated stress, elevated anxiety, and elevated social isolation. People also do less harm if they don't overconsume resources. Creating policies that benefit the environment and show that people want to waste less can help protect the limited resources we still have. The richest people on Earth consume far more than their fair share, creating a huge imbalance in resources available to all. So definitely, if the population increases tenfold in such a situation, the whole world will face a big dilemma. So let your brain to think. Goodbye.